Recommended standard ink cartridges available in single quantity pricing.
Hi, everybody. Jim House with the KFNX Weather Center. Our nights now are going to be downright chilly as this air mass settles in. Overnight lows, low 40s midtown, low 30s colder spots, and daytime highs mid to upper 50s through Sunday. Some occasional light showers. Jim House, KFNX News Talk Radio, 1100.
Currently in downtown Phoenix, it's 54 degrees.
Arizona's News Talk leader, KFNX, AM 1100.
You have a point. An idiotic one, but a point.
You're as dumb as you are stupid.
What the heck are you guys doing? Trying to make me look like a friggin' idiot?
What kind of a crazy world is this?
We're all being lobotomized.
Should I care that none of this makes any sense?
Nope.
Personally, I think you're an idiot.
Those imbeciles.
You want to see crazy?
Crowded Planet Radio, and this is Wolfboy Jack, along with very cool Vince, my co-host for tonight.
Good to be here. Missing Robert.
Missing Bunker Bob.
Bunker Bob is in the bunker,
yeah,
under the weather.
He's under the weather. He's underground. Tonight we've got a great guest. We've got Frank DeCaro, one of the funniest comedians I've ever heard. I used to love this guy on The Daily Show. He's got a cookbook out now called the DEAD CELEBRITY COOKBOOK. A resurrection of recipes for more than 145 stars of stage and screen. Frank, are you on the line?
Yes, I'm here. It's so good to talk to you.
Yeah, great to have you on. You know, I know it's you're out in New York City, right?
Oh, yes. Well, actually, I happen to be in Jersey City, New Jersey, right at this moment because I came to the 40th Waltons reunion. Remember the show, The Waltons? I came to see
with
that.
John Boy.
Two of them. Yeah, John Boy, he's 100 feet behind me now. I am not very far away from the entire cast. But two of them are in my Dead Celebrity Cookbook. Grandma and Grandpa Walton have gone to the great studio commissary in the sky, and so they're included in the book.
Yeah. Make sure you say goodnight to him after the show.
I will. One at a time. It'll be good. Draw it out for about 5 minutes. It'll be nice.
So we've got a lot to talk to you about. Tell us a little bit more about this Dead Celebrity Cookbook. Who can we expect to see in there?
Oh, you've got people from the cast of the 60s Batman series. You've got 3 of the Golden Girls because Betty White just wouldn't cooperate with the book. And you've got sitcom moms. You've got TV dads. You've got great people of music from Dusty Springfield to Liberace.
Dusty Springfield's dead?
So she's dead. Yeah, she's one of my favorite people ever.
Wow.
And Karen.
Son of
Karen
a preacher
Carpenter.
man. She's gone?
She's, a long time now.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah, I'm sorry to break it to you. I didn't mean to upset you with our interview tonight. But Karen Carpenter is in there, too. I managed to get a recipe of hers, believe it or not. And people say to me, they said, how could you have put that in there? And I tell them, I didn't tell her not to eat her own recipe. I wish I could have told her to have more of it,
Is Mama Cass in there with a ham sandwich?
No, but she's mentioned. I didn't have a recipe for her, but I did mention that terrible joke that if she'd given it to Karen Carpenter, they'd both be alive today. I couldn't do it without writing that awful joke and quoting it and putting it in there. But it was a lot of fun to be able to resurrect these people and their recipes. More of it was just so that I could remind people who may not have heard of these people that they existed, and they're the shoulders that our favorite performers today are standing on. So,
I understand that Rock Hudson is in there.
Oh, Rock Hudson's cannoli recipe. Who hasn't wanted to wrap their lips around Rock Hudson's cannoli? Please. If you can't dive into Joan Crawford's poached salmon, you want to wrap your lips around a cannoli, I think. Definitely.
There's something for everybody.
No, it's all there. You better believe it. Yeah, no, it was fun because I had gone to a Dead Celebrity party when I was in college in the early 80s. And we didn't have any Dead Celebrity food, so we had to sort of get it to, I thought, well, there's something that's missing. And that kind of planted the seed for it. And then I started shopping at flea markets and became a real avid flea market shopper. And so I started buying anything that had a celebrity recipe in it. And then the celebrities took care of it for me and dropped dead. And then I made it the Dead Celebrity Cookbook.
Yeah, flea markets are an amazing resource for just strange and otherwise useless things, aren't they?
Yeah, I wanted to. It's useless, all right. I wanted to shake the dust off these and get them back out there. Some of the recipes are pretty good. Some of them not so much.
Now, do the dead celebrities, does that cut down on royalties and stuff like that? Does that?
For them or for me?
For you. So do you have to pay less royalties or
their estates?
No, thank heaven you can't copyright a list of ingredients. So you can sort of borrow their list of ingredients and then rewrite the instructions and make them clearer because they were not particularly clear in so many of the cases. And then I wrote these tributes to all these people. So hopefully none of their heirs will be upset that I'm out there saying you need to remember these people because they were terrific.
All right, I have a question. Is
yes.
Michael Jackson in there? I have to know.
Yes. You didn't say you haven't made it sweet. It's past Thanksgiving. You didn't make a sweet potato pie. It's in there. Yeah, he's in there. Farrah Fawcett's in there with her sausage and peppers. Patrick Swayze is in there with his shepherd's pie. So we've got a lot of people in there who were superstars and who died recently.
I thought of a good recipe for Michael Jackson's Thanksgiving turkey. You want to hear it?
I'm scared, but yes. What do you got?
All right. Number one, trim the dark meat. Number two, be sure to peel off the skin.
It should be skinless. Yeah.
Number three, serve it in small portions so that the tryptophan doesn't put your guests to sleep forever.
It's true. And make white gravy, definitely. So.
Oh. All right,
brown gravy. I'm sorry. I got confused. Brown gravy is what I meant to say.
Yeah, so who else is in there?
The two that snuck in the last, and I was glad the publisher let me put them in. I did a chapter on TV detectives, so there's like George Papard's, pecan pie, but then they were like, when Peter Falk died, we were like, you have to put him in that chapter, and so they were kind enough to make the space for me, and so we got his pork chops with vinegar peppers in there right at the last minute, and you got to have Liz Taylor in there if you're going to do an Oscar chapter. Which I did. I'm hoping people will use it as a menu for Oscar parties. You had to get her in there because she was the last of old Hollywood, and when she went, they don't make them like that anymore.
Oh yeah.
So.
Is Natalie Wood in there?
No, actually, I was going to put her in, but the only place I could kind of think to put her was in the burlesque chapter that's in there because she played in Gypsy, the movie. Yeah. But then I thought that's not the right place for her, so I'm going to save her for the next volume. So, I'll figure out where to put her.
You could do another edition in 30 years. You could always reopen it.
30 years. I've got 150 ready to go now. In 30 years, it'll be the Dead Celebrity Cookbook, the next generation, that somebody else will be doing it.
So what are these chapters that you have in there? What was your breakdown? How did you differentiate the dead celebrities?
Well, it really was a case of trying to. Who did I have something to say something about? So I wanted to do my favorite musical performers, and I wanted to do something on Batman because I love that. And certainly, when you've got a show that's really about cheesecake, like the Golden Girls was, you have to. I thought, well, there needs to be a chapter on that. And it's kind of whenever I found a celebrity I wanted to talk about, I tried to figure out what's the best place to put them in, and where should I group them, and one of them was the book begins talking about talk shows because that to me is where the whole notion of a celebrity chef comes from. Is you'd watch the celebrities cooking on talk shows in the 60s and 70s, and you'd see a whole other side to a celebrity that you never thought you'd see, and that would be someone sort of making a mess in the kitchen.
Yeah, you mentioned Batman.
Did you watch those? I mean, I loved it. Did you watch talk shows in the 70s? I mean, they were, you'd always have somebody making a mess, and it was always fun because you got a glimpse inside their radar range at a time when, we weren't completely inundated with all the sort of celebrity, gossip.
I remember like the talk shows like Dinah Shore and Mike Douglas, and they every so often they used to have celebrity cooking segments.
Both of them, oh, definitely. I mean, Mike Douglas published a cookbook, and Dinah Shore did 2 or 3 of them. They were serious about their food. And what I liked is they used to say that the food segments, no matter how controversial any topics got, they got more mail asking for recipes whenever they had someone on cooking, because that was always, the most popular segment, no matter what they did on the Mike Douglas show. So.
All right. Now, of what you have in your book, what is your favorite recipe? And have you tried everything that's in the book?
I've made, I would say I cooked about a third of them, because it was 15 years to collect them, and then suddenly they were saying, we need this book in 3 months. So I didn't test all of the recipes. But I would say I did about a third of them. But I can tell you my favorite one, and you're gonna I'll tell you if you don't laugh, okay? It's Liberace sticky buns were really my favorite recipe in the whole book. So he has a recipe that's more fun than crescent rolls deserve to have in their little top and fresh life. So,
all right.
Yeah, you have to try Liberace. If you haven't stuck your tongue into Liberace sticky buns, you're really missing something. So you should try that. So tell them I said it's okay.
Rock Hudson's cannoli and, Liberace sticky buns.
I was an equal opportunity offender. I said you could try. I said you could dive face first into Joan Crawford's poached salmon too. I'm equal opportunity. So, but I hope it's definitely. There's some of them are really worth trying out. Sorry about that awful noise.
Oh, that's okay.
Was that those Waltons again?
Yeah, it's tough to keep a farm family quiet, you know. So.
But you mentioned Batman before. Yeah, you've got some kind of fascination with Batman.
Oh, it's my favorite thing. I've got a Batman collection. I think it's let's be honest, they were a couple. You know, I mean, and Batman and Robin were a couple. We knew that, and
yeah.
And he liked him young, and that's the way it went. But so yeah, I guess that's my fascination with him. So. You want me to go to the dark place, don't you? Anyway, but yeah, they definitely. I have to say, Batman and Robin, definitely were always fascinating to me. But I love that show. But if you watch it, they were deranged about food. It was like, let's get Batgirl and drown her in caviar. Let's dissolve them, Batman and Robin, in acid, highly acidic coffee. Let's turn them into human frosty freezies. They were always doing some cockamamie thing with food, and so maybe I have food issues today because of that stupid show. I don't know.
Could have been some kind of subtle product placement, even.
They could be, yeah, actually. But it would be nice if we could, if I could just get, maybe Julie Newmar holding it up, would be good. Maybe I could do that. But it's fun, and I hope that I hope they keep dying so I can keep putting them in the book. I think, but
if you could push a celebrity off a cliff now to get a recipe for that next book, who would it be?
No, I can't go there. It's just a bad harm. But I was going to say, the way I looked at it, first I really thought Betty White was just being uncooperative, and that sort of bothered me at first. But then it dawned on me, if she's going to keep going, then she missed the deadline, and I hope she lives to be 150. If you're not going to help me out when I need you, then you might as well live. It just seems fair.
All right, we've got to take a break here. But we're talking with Frank DeCaro, author of the DEAD Celebrity Cookbook, a resurrection of recipes for more than 145 stars of stage and screen. You're listening to Wolfboy Jack and Very Cool Vince on KFNX 1100 AM.
Arizona's News Talk leader, KFNX, AM 1100.
Hi, I'm Rusty Rockwell. You may remember me from such advertisements as Overzealous Military Recruiter Guy, Cowboy and Horseback, or the ever-popular Strongman Pitching Generic Baking Soda. I'd like to talk to you now about Z Pizza. When I'm in town and I get a hankering for the only pie with 100% certified organic tomato sauce and wheat flour, I head over to Z Pizza. Now I know what you're thinking. You're saying to yourself, that organic stuff tastes like cardboard half the time. Not true with Z Pizza, because at Z Pizza, you'll never experience a bland, boring, blasé meal. Just go to zpizza.com and check out all the creations to choose from. For all your pizza, salad, pasta, and sandwich needs, log on to zpizza.com. zpizza.com. That's Z, as in the last letter of the alphabet, pizza.com.
On Q Financial, mortgages simplified. Getting a mortgage is a complicated process. We make it simple. Call Margot Rackus and Jeff Wild at 480-444-7123 for all your mortgage needs. On Q Financial is a licensed Arizona mortgage banker, MB number 0906866. Margot Rackus, originator number 258961. Jeff Wild, originator number 257881. Equal housing lender. On Q Financial, we make it simple. 480-444-7123.
How do you get the most from your employee benefits plan? What will be the impact of national health care reform? How can I provide benefits for my employees at a reasonable cost? Tune in Monday night at 8 p.m. for Benefits Briefing with employee benefits experts Bernie and Cindy Hines. Benefits Briefing, Monday at 8 p.m.
Hi, I'm Marshall Trimble, inviting you to any Circle K or visit az100years.org for a chance to win the Arizona Centennial Copper Chopper, our official mascot.
KFNX News Talk Radio 1100. Log on now at 1100kfnx.com.
I really believe that the pagans and the abortionists and the feminists and the gays and the lesbians, the ACLU, People for the American Way, all of them, I point the finger in their face and say, you helped this happen.
Oh, you darn crazy galoot!
Welcome back to Crowded Planet Radio. This is Wolfboy Jack, along with Very Cool Vince, and our guest.
That's really a misnomer.
You're not very cool.
No, not even moderately.
Don't let all our secrets out. Come on. All right, we're talking to Frank DeCaro, who has a book out, the Dead Celebrity Cookbook, a resurrection of recipes for more than 145 stars of stage and screen. Hey, tell us, Frank, the book's already out, right?
Yeah, it came out October 3rd, so it was out in time for Halloween and then for Thanksgiving. And now, of course, moving into the Christmas gift-giving season, I very subtly like to tell people, please buy the book, I need a hit. So I just think I like to subtly put that out there and say it would mean a lot to my late parents should you buy this book. You know, that's what I dedicated it to them, and my two favorite dead celebrities are my parents. And and they just, wherever they are, they're just saying, for God's sake, have a book that's a hit for once. So I'm hoping it's this book.
Where should we go to get a copy?
Oh, the best places to go. Let's see, you can go to deadcelebritycookbook.com, and that has links to Amazon and BarnesandNoble.com, and even Walmart.com has me on there, which is good. It's nice to be a big loud gay at Walmart. So there you go.
Can we download this to a Kindle?
Yes, I'm on Kindle. You can put it on your iPad. You can do everything that is modern and delicious to take into the kitchen and enjoy it. Yes. So it's very fun. But I think it's good to have a newfangled computer while you're working with cream soups from the 50s. I think it's good to mix the two of them. So.
Hey, I've got a question. I'm a fan of Italian food, and, Pavarotti's dead, and it looked like he ate fairly well when he was around. Do you have anything from him in there?
He's coming up. I'm going to do an opera chapter in the next book. So I've got him. He's on deck. He's dead and fat and on deck. So for the next book. But if you want some Italian food, I've got. Remember Ann Miller, who was so great a tap dancer?
Yes. Yeah.
Anyway, she's in there with her fettuccine Alfredo, and that's pretty delicious. Okay. So you can try that. And you know what the recipe? If I call it Italian, my Italian grandmother will roll over in her grave. But the guy who played Scotty on Star Trek, James Doohan, yeah, he's got a turkey lasagna that's in there. That's not very Italian, but it's awfully good. Excellent. So it's still the same niche that tuna noodle casserole fills,
I'm a Trekkie.
Comfort food on a cold day. Well, there's a whole Trek chapter. It's called Supper Under the Stars, so you've got to check it out. I have to tell you, though, for space, I cut out Persis Kambata. Remember the bald-headed one from the first movie, the woman?
Okay.
That bald-headed beauty. Yeah, I cut her out because we didn't have room for her, and she had an Indian recipe that's kind of groovy. But it ended up just being Dr. McCoy and Scotty, and the creator as well, Gene Roddenberry, has a recipe in there. So
Right.
And as they go, I'll add
I'll
more.
bet those
you know?
recipes were out of this world.
They, yes, they were. Thank you for going to that lovely place, because I was going to go there too.
Nobody's
they
gone before.
really were. See, that's a nice place to go instead of going to the Rock Hudson's cannoli place. You know, I admire you. You didn't take the low road that I always take. So thank you for that.
I've got a fixation with cannolis. What can I say? Hey, Frank, I understand you were just in Italy. Is that right?
Oh, it was good. Yeah, I was there. I was in Puglia, which is the heel of the Italian boot, and it's where focaccia comes from. So ask me how bad could a trip be when you're going to the home of focaccia? Not so bad, you know.
Wow.
So no, and they're all food pushers. Southern Italians are my relatives, and they're food pushers. So it was, and I'm an easy touch to begin with. So it was. We just ate until we were ready to explode, and then drank until we didn't care, and then started again the next day. It was really fantastic, and it's a region of Italy that a lot of people haven't been to. So it's Apulia is the way the English would say, but it's just Puglia if you're Italian, and it's pretty great. I had a wonderful time, and I hadn't been in Europe in a long time, so it was nice to get back over there and eat like a fat American. It was really fun.
All right. Hey, question with your book, and are there any exceptions to the dead recipe? Do you have to be dead for recipe? Did you sneak one of your own in there because you won't be able to write a book after you're deceased?
No, I think I'll leave one in the safe deposit box somewhere, and then my heirs can do that. No, yeah. Somebody said why. I got a question in a recent interview, and they said why is there nothing from Abe Vigoda in here? And I said because he only seems dead. It's like you can't just seem dead. You have to really be most sincerely dead, as they said in The Wizard of Oz. You know, you have to really have kicked the old bucket. So, no, I'm not going to. I'm hoping I don't get to be in the book for a really long time. So, keep my fingers crossed.
All right. Let's talk about your personal life a little bit, Frank.
Let's not. Okay, I'm sorry. No.
We got
I have a lovely one. I shouldn't say. Yeah. So I have a lovely personal life. No, I got married over, and because the gays can do that now. So I got married in August on my 15th anniversary.
Congratulations. I'm sorry you had to wait so long, but was it worth the wait?
Oh, it was great. It was amazing to get married. It is all kind of a blur, but then you get home and there are lots and lots of presents to open. And I advise anyone who's single, get married and register somewhere and grab for every present you can get your hot little hands on. You know, so that's my advice. Because how many years? I don't know if you guys are single, but how many years have you written checks and brought presents and everything? And you didn't get anything back. Well, now it's get married, it's your chance. Get merchandise. It's really all about that.
Yeah, maybe that's why Larry King's been married like what is it, like 13 times?
Maybe he uses his registry to pay off the settlements from the failed marriages.
The previous one, yeah, maybe he does that. Get $20 for this toaster, and then you put it towards the alimony. I guess.
The alimony fund, yes.
So you can get a lot for a microwave oven that's barely been used. You just do it. See what you can get. But no, I have to say it was fun. But yeah, I had to wait for the law, and then we got married, and it's great. It's totally been fun. You look down on your finger, and there's a ring in it from Tiffany, and you look, and it's kind of a strange thing because it's like you really are married. That's what's bizarre is it's for real, and you have to remind yourself of that because I didn't grow up thinking I'd ever get married, and I didn't think anyone would have me, to be honest with you. But no, it's kind of a groovy thing. I have to say, and I recommend it to everyone who is in love. They should get married. It's pretty terrific.
I'm glad you got the opportunity. I mean, legally, it's been long since overdue. I mean, it's it's one of the last few areas where segregation is legal still in many places, and that's unfortunate.
Including Arizona. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, please, I don't even have to go to Arizona. I mean, if I go, I'm standing in New Jersey at this moment, and my marriage is not recognized, and I'm 15 minutes from a place where it is. I mean, it's, we're only legal in, 6 or 7 states, and that's just got to change. I mean, it's crazy. It's like, wait, so if I take the subway, I can be legally married in about 15 minutes? That doesn't make any sense. So hopefully they'll get it together, and will, be able to be married everywhere. And it's, I'm the least political person, but it's an important thing because people understand. If you say, "Oh, it's my partner," they're like, "Oh, you work together," or, "Oh, it's my partner." "Oh, you have a friend." It's basically, if you say it's my husband, they know exactly what you're talking about.
But
husband only means, husband means one thing: ball and chain. So it's.
But there are a lot of broader issues with that, too. I mean, you've got things regarding inheritance, child custody, visitation, access in the hospital. I mean, there are a lot of things. And it basically gets down to a contractual agreement. And I don't see how you can exclude one class of people from a contract that somebody else is able to enter into. That'd be like saying red-haired people can't get married. It's just... It doesn't make sense.
I like the comparison to segregation. I actually read that the only states now that allow gay marriage are the same states that originally started to allow, biracial marriage. It's like the same states, New York, Delaware. You go through the list. Yeah, the same exact states. I don't know what that means. I guess they're just particularly progressive states. But that's probably
I think what it means is that the government sort of has to step in and say, the world's not going to end if we let this happen. And, so everybody just calm down and take a deep breath and start collecting the revenue from having those weddings and shut up,
and it's
then
not
the
a
world
threat to
doesn't
anybody
end and
else.
everybody's fine.
Yeah, I mean, your marriage poses no threat to anybody else's marriage. I mean, it's.
People will realize it. All right, we got to take another break, unfortunately. We're talking to Frank DeCaro, who's got a new book out, The Dead Celebrity Cookbook. You listen to Wolfboy Jack, and Very Cool Vince on KFNX.
CNN Radio, I'm Bill Caiaccio. America's unemployment rate fell to 8.6%, according to the report for November. Labor Secretary Hilda Solis says it's a good sign, but there are many people who have given up looking for work.
The glass is half full and half empty because there is an equal number of people that are actually finding jobs.
President Obama is criticizing Congress for delaying a bill to extend the payroll tax cut. Without an extension, 160 million Americans will see their payroll taxes go up next year. Defense Secretary Leon Panetta used blunt language as he urged Israel to get back to the table for peace talks with the Palestinians. Panetta says Israel is becoming increasingly isolated in the region. The 5-year-old son of country music singer Mindy McCready is safe and sound in Arkansas. Officials are now trying to get the boy home to Florida. McCready took her son, but her parents have legal custody. The most trusted name in news. This is CNN Radio.
Hi, everybody. Jim House at the KFNX Weather Center. Our nights now are going to be downright chilly as this air mass settles in. Overnight lows, low 40s, midtown, low 30s, colder spots, and daytime highs mid to upper 50s through Sunday. Some occasional light showers. Jim House, KFNX News Talk Radio, 1100.
Currently, in downtown Phoenix, it's 54 degrees.
Arizona's News Talk leader, KFNX, AM 1100.
Have you looked in your jewelry box lately? If you're like most people, chances are you'll have all kinds of jewelry, gems, and diamonds that you no longer wear, or watches that no longer work. If these items would be more valuable to you as cash, come to London Gold, the jewelry store smart shoppers have trusted for over 30 years. With gold at an all-time high, now's the time to let London Gold buy from you. Stop by one of our 3 valley-wide locations where our precious metal specialists are always on hand to evaluate your items. We will carefully test and examine each piece to determine its weight and current market value. Then we will make you an offer. If you accept, we'll pay you on the spot, and there's never any pressure to sell. Walk away anytime. No charge, no hassle. And if something in our showroom catches your eye, you can take advantage of our 20% bonus offer towards a new purchase. Imagine, in one visit, you can trade in old style for new ones and take home cash to boot.
London Gold, it's the best.
You'll feel psyched up, tuned in, turned on, and mega wired for sound. What?
Yeah, tune in to Healthy House Calls. We discuss the secrets to wellness, longevity, and abundant energy. Tune in Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. as we broadcast live and direct from Healthy Habit Health Food Store.
Have you ever felt you were taken advantage of when purchasing a vehicle? Then listen to the Car Insiders this Saturday, 8 a.m. right here. They don't work for dealerships and will teach you the car industry tricks and the way you regain control to get the deal you deserve. The Car Insiders every Saturday at 8 a.m.
Don't miss a minute. Tune in for Arizona Wildcats basketball on KFNX.
Welcome back to Crowded Planet Radio. This is Wolfboy Jack along with Very Cool Vince. And today we're talking to Frank DeCaro, who has a new book out, The Dead Celebrity Cookbook, available from all reputable booksellers.
Even some disreputable ones.
You don't care where the royalties come from.
No. Sell.
So Very Cool Vince here is wondering, are you still doing any stand-up, Frank?
I do a little bit. You know, I really started out as a journalist. I didn't start out as a stand-up.
Really?
It was no, I was a serious journalist, and then I realized I was a goofball besides, you know.
Well, a lot of us remember you from doing the movie reviews on The Daily Show.
Yes. Oh, that was the greatest time I had. I tell you, it was really wonderful. I was writing for a newspaper, and I got this gig. And suddenly there I was on The Daily Show, and no one was watching it at the time, and then I did it for 6.5 years.
Yeah, the board operator here was saying you started out when Craig Kilborn was still on that show, right? Is that right?
Yeah, I started out in the third month of the show.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Nobody remembers that. Nobody remembers Craig Kilborn.
You were there at the start.
Except you.
I do, too. Craig Kilborn did a series. Craig Kilborn did a series last summer.
No.
Yeah, he did.
Okay.
He did a show. Craig Kilborn did a show called The Kilborn File for the Fox people for their own stations for about 13 weeks, just to see whether or not the show would go.
I didn't actually notice that he did that, but you know what? He doesn't follow my career either, so it's the way it goes. So. Oh, well.
For people that are following your career, Frank, what are you doing now?
I'm a radio person every day from 8 a.m. to 11 Pacific time. I am a naughty monkey on Sirius XM satellite radio. So I do the Frank DeCaro show.
Excellent.
And I have a co-host. I'm getting in the car. Wait a minute. I have a co-host who is the Kevin Bacon of lesbian Los Angeles. If you go to L.A. and you see a lesbian wearing lipstick and who could see her feet, she knows my co-host, okay? That's the way it goes.
So you're leaving the Waltons now?
I'm leaving the Waltons, yes, finally. They let me go, finally. No, it was a great program. It was their 40th anniversary of the movie that launched the series, and it was a big-ass Christmas thing, and so it was really fun.
I'm 42. I grew up with them.
Yeah, you and me both. Yeah, it's true. So I'm older than that. Sadly, I'm older than that. But yeah, but not by too much. I'm not as old as John Boy, who's almost 60. I mean,
really?
You know, he's over 60. Who would have thunk John Boy would be an old fart someday? You know, you never.
It happens to the best of us.
Yeah, I'm working on it. I'll tell you. So you know, but it was fun, and you know, I mean, I'm such a pop culture hound. It's like I had to do something like the Dead Celebrity Cookbook or the Daily Show or whatever because it's what I live and breathe. You know.
Yeah. Hey, what is a dead celebrity party?
Oh, the Dead Celebrity Party was great. A friend of ours said you have to come as dressed as your favorite dead celebrity, and so we all went, and people came dressed as Sid Vicious. Someone came as Sharon Tate. Someone came as Ernest Hemingway. Someone came as Jack Sue, the guy who played Yamana on Barney Miller. And I thought, well, I'll go as Yul Gibbons, the guy who sold grape nuts, you know, because he was like, all natural foods are the way to go, and then he dropped dead, you know. So I thought that was kind of funny. So I ended up going as him.
The Sharon Tate one, that's a little rough for a party.
Oh, you don't know the half of it. The girl who did that was the most twisted soul I've ever met in my life. Yeah, she did a good Sharon Tate, though. I have to give her credit. It was She was weird. Anyway, we had my friend, not Sharon Tate. Sharon Tate was lovely. But, she was a wackadoodle, and but that was the kind of party. I mean, one guy came dressed as Judy Garland and carried a pill bottle that said, "Take until dead." So that was kind of the spirit of the whole thing. But I have to say, when you say the Dead Celebrity Cookbook, it sounds really irreverent. And in some ways it is, but it's really a love letter to all these performers. And so, not to get all mushbally and everything, but I do really like these people, even if I'm teasing them a little bit. Even if I'm saying Mama Cash should have given Karen Carpenter that sandwich, I still love them teasing this, So.
Well, nobody gets out of here alive. I mean, someday we'll all have recipes that will qualify for that book.
I hope, and I hope that someone writes. I hope it's me, really, to be honest with you. I hope I don't go anywhere, and I just keep writing these books. But it'll be fun. I'm itching to do another one and get them out there. And just it's fun. And also, not only is it fun sharing these people, but it's also fun learning more about them. And kind of, when your research is, got to go watch those episodes of Bewitched. It's kind of a fun way to put a book together. So, and it was a lot of that. It was, where's that episode where they conjure up, Caesar Augustus because they wanted a Caesar salad instead? It was that kind of thing.
Now, wasn't a Caesar salad, wasn't that named after the chef for Sinatra who made that recipe made the Caesar salad for him on a vacation in Mexico?
I heard some story about where it came from. I thought it was a restaurant in Italy, but maybe that was a completely different story. But somebody came up, that's all they had around in the kitchen, and so they kind of threw the anchovies in and the cheese, and suddenly it was an amazing thing. Yeah. So it was a Mexican thing? Yeah, I think you're right. I think it was Mexico.
Yeah. I like Caesar salads, and
everybody does.
Yeah, and I'm not an anchovy fan. I mean, I like pizza, but the only pizza I won't eat is an anchovy one. So
Well, I don't know if I'd like a whole anchovy pizza either, but I do like anchovies and things. I like anchovies in pasta. So.
Okay.
Have you written any other books, Frank?
Yeah, this is my third one, actually. I have written, I wrote a biography of Bob, like a coffee table biography of the designer Bob Mackie, who did all those clothes for Cher. The guy who gave us an anatomy lesson. And I was a big fan of his, and I did his book. And
how long was Bob Mackie designing clothes for Cher? Because I remember in the '60s that her and Sonny looked kind of awkward. It wasn't that.
Well, it was after that. It was when they entered their glamour phase.
Okay.
Speaking of which, is Sonny in there? Is Sonny Bono in the book?
Yes, actually, Sonny is in the book. It's his pasta with fresh tomatoes is in fact in there. So. He made it, yeah. But anyway, so Bob Mackie, that was the whole other thing. Everyone in the Bob Mackie book is alive, which I'm glad to say. And then I did a book about growing up in the 60s and 70s, which was really fun, called A Boy Named Phyllis, and that came out it came out 15 years ago, believe it or not. And that was how I met my husband-to-be. So it worked. It didn't make a lot of money, but I did get a spouse. So how bad could things be, So it worked out.
Now, are they all still in print? If we wanted to dig back deeper into your repertoire of literary accomplishments, could we find these?
If you can find them, the Bob Mackie book was put out by Rizzoli, which is a beautiful house, but it didn't stay in print. I mean, it was in for a while, but now it's a real collectible. My book, A Boy Named Phyllis, got amazing reviews, but now it's part of the Literature for Change program, which is if you go to your couch and you lift up the cushions, you can find enough change to buy it. So that's the Literature for Change program. So, and you can find it on Amazon and out of print and stuff. But but I like to say it that way because people said it opened the door for David Sedaris, and it was nice to open the door for him. I just wish I'd gotten a tip. Would have been nice to have made a few bucks. I mean, he's in the south of France. I'm in Jersey City, New Jersey. You do the math, okay? So. But I've no grudges, nothing, no bitterness there whatsoever. So, but no, it's been fun. I've been very, very lucky, and it's been great being able to do goofy stuff and call it a career, and everyone should be so lucky. So
now, was A Boy Named Phyllis, was that about coming of age as a gay American?
Yes, it was. You make it sound real respectable. Yes, it was. It was about coming of age in a crazy Italian-American, very colorful family in New Jersey, in the heart of Soprano land, and being a big, being like the love child of Sharon Liberace, and waking up in this family and figuring out what the hell am I doing here.
Well, it's a tough realization for a lot of people. Now, I don't know how many people actually grew up with friends that ended up being gay. Now, I know I have. I know my friend Bunker Bob, who normally hosts the show, is out sick tonight. One of his best friends was gay too, and it's a tough transition to go through. I mean, a lot of my friends that I knew, when they were coming to that realization, were actually really, they wondered why they were that way, and they felt almost beset upon by it, and it was a tough thing for them to go through, and it was and it was a tough thing because kids are actually tough on other kids too. So and
they're tough, and a lot of this is changing, but a lot of parents are were terrible to their kids, and then some still are. Mine weren't the worst, but they certainly said my father was so sweet to say, if I'd known you were going to be like this, I'd have killed you at birth.
Wow.
That's just what every kid wants to hear when they're 16 years old.
Has he gotten past that yet?
Yeah, he's dead now. He's fine. No, anyway. No, he ended up. No, he said about my husband to be. He said that boy is a godsend. Don't F it up. So I was like, okay, Pop. So he was good. And my mother said awful things in the beginning, and then by the end, she was saying, "Come to New Jersey. All the gays are welcome there." So she was kind of the gay welcome wagon for anyone in New Jersey. So, they did come around, and it took them a while, but they did a pretty nice job, and they were terrific in-laws to my spouse. So, they're pretty terrific. A lot of people are not as lucky, and you look and you count your blessings, you really do.
They got the It Gets Better movement now, which is catching steam, and I think that's a good thing, because it is a tough time for people. And
Frank's involved with that, aren't you?
Well, I feel like my life is the It Gets Better movement, telling people. But now I've started my own thing now. It's for men over 40, gay men over 40, and it's called It Gets Worse. And
Great.
that's the thing. So
we've got to take one more break here. We're talking with Frank DeCaro, has a new book out, the Dead Celebrity Cookbook. This is Wolfboy Jack and Very Cool Vince on KFNX.
Arizona's News Talk leader, KFNX, AM 1100.
I have the answer. Call me for this link and you will call me back. I have the answer. Who was the dynamic leader that history tells us that when he went to meet his maker, that his eyes were not dim nor his vigor abated? I have the answer. I urge you, choose science and not celebrities in your pursuit of an active lifestyle well beyond statistical predictions. I have the answer. Is your energy level low and your health insurance costs high? I have the answer. Tired of buying grocery store produce from third world countries that have been sprayed with who knows what? I have the answer. I have nutrient-dense, locally grown produce and so much more. It costs a few bucks, but it's worth $1 million. Charisma culture is our name and applying gifts is our game. I have the answer. 602-762-2601. 602-762-2601. 602-762-2601.
The green economy is hiring. Need work? Maybe a new career? At eRenewable Resource Institute, we will train you with the new skills you'll need to join the renewable energy and solar workforce. Intensive 3 to 5 day workshops in BPI, weatherization, PV, and solar thermal installation. Class fees include all materials. Just bring a calculator and sunscreen. To learn more, visit erenewableresource.com or call 480-446-0400. That's 480-446-0400.
The Lars Larson Show is on the air.
I will tell you that I think that both parties deserve blame for what's going on in Washington, D.C. They're spending more time talking at each other than talking with each other.
I think Christie's right on target. And if you understand what's going on in the whole world today, they're looking at the collapse of the euro. They're looking at the kind of financial problems that could actually have a tremendously bad effect on the United States of America.
The Lars Larson Show, Monday through Fridays at 10 p.m. Check us out on the web at 1100kfnx.com.
Oh, yes!
I can handle things. I'm smart.
respect, don't we? Very Cool Vince. We don't get it. This is Wolfboy Jack and Very Cool Vince on KFNX, Crowded Planet Radio. We're talking tonight with Frank DeCaro. You may remember him from The Daily Show with Jon Stewart and Craig Kilborn, if you're old enough to remember that. Frank's got a new book out called The DEAD Celebrity Cookbook, a resurrection of recipes for more than 145 stars of stage and screen.
And what are those times that we can hear you on the satellite radio as well, too?
Frank, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I can hear you again. What are those times that we can hear you on satellite radio? What channel is that?
It's Sirius XM OutQ 108, and it's 11 a.m. East, 8 a.m. West, and it's a 3-hour live show every day. Live, uncensored, naughty little show, and it's fun. I mean, our guests run the gamut from, young and hip to barely alive, and that's the way I like it. We had... my favorite show, the show I was most proud of, we had Tom Ford, the designer of Gucci and film director, on. It's most sought after designer, and then Ernest Borgnine talking about masturbation at like 93. And so
Does he still do that?
3-hour period. He's a naughty person with a Kleenex box. Yes, he's a dirty old man.
How old is he now?
He's like early 90s.
Wow.
Good for him.
Wow.
Take a blue pill and you're home free, No, and I was really proud of that. I like shows where you have someone, cool and hip, and then an old person who's groovy and naughty, and put it all together. I think that's the way real life is, and I think that's what our show tries to be. And,
well, I've learned two things today: that Dusty Springfield is dead and Ernest Borgnine's still alive.
I know. I'm sorry to break these things to you. I feel bad. I want to send you flowers now. I feel very guilty for telling you about
still
Dusty
practicing
Springfield.
pianist.
Ernest Borgnine is still more active than I thought,
Isn't it? We got his wife Tova that she probably says, "Go deal with it yourself, old bastard." She probably says that. But they've been married a long time, so he does his thing. Yeah, they asked him how he stays so young one time, and he said, "I masturbate a lot." And so I was like, I had to ask him about it when he.
You still there?
I'm still here. Are you still there?
Yeah, we're still here.
Oh, I'm not going anywhere. I hope.
Are you still in Jersey?
I'm still in a parking garage in New Jersey in traffic, trying to pay my $5 and get out of here and go eat something. Yeah, it's at 10 minutes to midnight.
I remember that Jersey traffic well. I used to live in New Brunswick.
Yeah, this would bring back so many memories here, except the Waltons would be involved. I mean, you'd be driving behind the Waltons. No, it was kind of a fun thing. John Boy, Richard Thomas read A Visit from St. Nick. He read The Night Before Christmas. So that was kind of groovy, and it was in an old movie house. So they had a huge pipe organ. You should pardon the expression, and it was very cool. So. It was if you like old people, or seeing people who were children who are now not, but it was fun.
Yeah, I love that show that you're on. It actually plays out here in the mornings out in Phoenix, so I catch it like in my drive time in the morning.
Oh, my dirty little show. Well, I'm glad you listened to it. Thank you so much. Yeah. We have a really, really good time. And what's strange though is if you ever told me that Rosie O'Donnell would be calling into the show, or the Indian from the Village People calls every couple of days. I mean, it's a strange life. It really is. It's like, Felipe's on line 1. It's the Indian from the Village People. It's kind of a thrill, It's a strange world, and I'm glad to be living in it.
Well, it's kind of the way we feel having you on our show.
I'm your Village People Indian, except my loincloth is bigger. It's a plus-size, full-length loincloth. So it's... So I'm happy to be your village person. So. I wish I could be it for more people. I do. I think though, I wouldn't be like the Indian or the cowboy. I think I would be the card store owner. I think that would be the correct village person for me. It would be the owns a greeting card store. I think I could turn around and go, "Yes, may I help you?" I think that would be my character in the Village People, the new Village People.
We're forming tonight, yeah.
Do they get a royalty for every time that song's played? Because you can't go anywhere from a wedding to a sporting event without hearing it.
I hope there's there's someone in a loincloth with a change maker, you know, walking behind you at every moment. I really do. I think when you create something, you should, you should get paid every time someone.
Who would have thought a song about staying at the YMCA would have lasted this long? That's got to be 30 years old now if it's a day.
It's a dirty song. It's about getting stooped at the YMCA. What do you think he's there for?
Really?
For the cuisine, you know? I mean, he's there. He's there to see who's in the next room and get a little something going on there. It's a naughty song. So.
It's not known for its accommodations. This is a total. This is my surprise for the night.
Put this on the list. I'm debunking. I'm telling you who's dead. I'm outing people at the YMCA. I'm telling you that Ernest Borgnine masturbates. I'm full of horrible things to share with you. I'm glad we're doing this, to be honest with you.
It's the most meaningful night I've ever had on the show.
Thank you. I'm glad to help. And in time for Christmas, this is all you're getting. I hate to tell you, this is your whole present. Get too excited. So, did they at least send you a copy of the book? Speaking of presents, did they send you the book?
No, we got
No.
Can you work for that? You know, we'll still read it, and I'm sure some of us still eat, and so I mean, we can put that to use.
Okay, good. I'll have to get them on this and tell them. I said, we spent an hour together. For God, I've had relationships that lasted a shorter amount of time than that.
I think Brittany's had a marriage that lasted shorter than that. I think her first marriage was less than...
It's the Kardashians, too. I'm married longer than the Kardashians, you know? So that's kind of the way it goes. But it's and meanwhile, you know, when I think of someone, I mean, the Kardashians make me think of like them as being the new Gabors. That Zsa Zsa just won't. She does not want to be in my book.
No.
You know, her sister was. I had Ava Gabors in the book in the chapter. You know, where I talk about lunch at Green Acres or dinner. It's dinner at Green Acres.
Zsa Zsa's lost a leg. Is there something that you could do to commemorate that in the book? Some soul food.
Soul food would be good, yes. It could just be a lot of like chicken legs or something. We could, you know, just drumsticks or something. It could be an all drumstick menu. I'm not sure. But I have a recipe. But you know, if they don't want to go, they don't want to go. I'm not going to be on the death watch, as we said earlier. I'm not going to do that. It's just karma, and I don't want to do it. So, but if they want to cooperate, I'm there for them. You know, I'm all set. So.
Yeah. Well, who else you got in this book? We've been through so many already. Is Sammy Davis Jr. in there?
You bet. Yeah, well, there's a Rat Pack chapter, so you have to have. So I have Sammy and Dean and Frank. Of course, you got to have the chairman of the board there. Right. And so that's a fun thing. And it's sort of a part, you know, it's sort of a patio barbecue. You know, is kind of the way I looked at it. And I loved that. You know, I mean, Dean's thing is just burgers and booze. Is his or burgers and. Burgers and bourbon, that's his recipe. And I like it because his daughter told me that he liked J&B was his favorite because he said it stood for just booze. So I kind of liked that. I thought that was pretty groovy.
There's a famous story about Frank Sinatra where he goes in to get some pasta and it's not hard enough. So he screams at them, you know, I like my pasta al dente, you know, darn it. Like really loud. And he was like a really demanding, you know, difficult person, to say the least.
Sinatra?
Yeah, Sinatra.
But at least, if he's going to be difficult, at least it's Sinatra being difficult. I hate when someone's difficult and they're not Sinatra. You know? It's like,
really.
No one should be difficult. But if someone's going to be difficult, at least it's him, you know? I remember when I was writing the Bob Mackey book, I was waiting for Cher to call me for 2.5 days. And every time I'd hit the ceiling with the nails, like the cat in the Looney Tunes, you know, and he's stuck in the ceiling. I was so freaked out, and then finally she called, and she was lovely. But it was, you know, I mean, at least it was Cher that I was waiting for. You know, you don't want to be on the phone with some spaghetti, you know, who is treating you like a moron. It's like,
so if we put you on hold, you would be real appreciative right now.
No, I wouldn't. But I'm going into the Holland Tunnel, so I may be the one who's the idiot who hangs up on you. So I went. Don't feel so bad, you know. I mean, I think I get whatever I have coming now, you know. So.
You know, I've got a tip for Frank. We just had, remember, Al Capone's last surviving relative on the show last week, was it? And she's got, like, one of Al Capone's recipes, like for lasagna. Yes, get a
That
hold of
works
her.
for me.
Yeah, DJ
I'll
Capone.
have to get in touch. I mean, he's not on my list of favorite performers, but maybe I could put him in another book. You know, I don't know.
He's a celebrity. That works.
Celebrity. I know, but I didn't have any of his records or anything. You know, I didn't run around.
I'm sure if he put enough weight on you or his heirs, you'd be willing to put his recipe in there.
Yeah, no, but you know, people are saying, why are there no politicians in here? And it's like, well, I didn't feel like writing a love letter to J. Edgar Hoover. You know, I had his popover recipe, but I didn't feel like, what was I going to say? Maybe another volume, but
did Paul Lynde make the book?
Paul Lynde, his beef stew is in there, definitely. Yeah, Paul Lynde's one of my favorite people ever.
He made Hollywood Squares.
Did he ever? Yeah, I love. He was just this sort of. He was a bitter, evil queen in real life, and just really fun. Well, he was. I'm not telling anything that tales out of school. He was a bitter, evil queen, but he was hilariously funny, yeah, and he went to Northwestern, and he's the reason I went to Northwestern, too, and I'm not joking. I really did pick my school based on the fact that Paul Lynde went there. I don't recommend this, if you're listening. Do not pick schools out for pop cultural reasons, like, oh, my favorite Hollywood Square went there, I'm going there. You know, don't choose it that way. A little more thought, kids.
Well, your career's worked out.
It did work out, but it's really the truth. It's deranged, but that was really the truth. So,
all right.
Oh well.
All right. We want to thank you for being with us tonight, Frank. You're still one of the funniest guys I've ever heard on the radio.
It's been a blast.
You're very sweet. Thank you. And I'm going right into the Holland Tunnel. Make of that what you will. Okay.
Okay. All right. You've been listening to Crowded Planet Radio on KFNX. This is Wolfboy Jack and Very Cool Vince signing off.
You're listening to KFNX News Talk Radio 1100, Cape Creek, Phoenix, the home of Laura Ingraham, weekdays 6 to 9 a.m. KFNX News Time. It's 10 o'clock.
CNN Radio, I'm Bill Caiaccio. Top story this hour. There's a split in Washington that could cost you on your paycheck. Congress voted down 2 measures to extend the payroll tax cut next year.